Hello everyone, this lecture video is all about a revision on your quiz 2 in chemistry. So let's start with a multiple choice. You have here the following. What is the structure of ethanol? So ethanol is an alcohol and it means that it's a saturated compound, meaning to say single bond with a hydroxyl or OH group attached to it. So letter A has a double bond. It is an alkene, so this one is wrong. Letter B, you have all single. They are all saturated, but it doesn't have an OH group. So therefore, this is an alkane. This is wrong as well. This is not an alcohol. Letter C, you have a double bond and then a hydroxyl that makes it carboxylic acid. It is not an alcohol. So that's wrong as well. Now for letter D, you have here all single bonds with OH, then that is correct. So the answer is letter D. This is an ethanol. Now let us proceed to number 2. You have here which statement about alkanes is correct. Let us examine this one by one. You have here letter A, they contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only. This is wrong because the alkanes doesn't have an oxygen. It just have a carbon and hydrogen. Now, for letter B, they are saturated compounds with only single ionic bonds. This is wrong as well. Saturated, correct, but ionic bonds, that is wrong because carbon and hydrogen are nonmetals. So when they are nonmetals, what type of bonding is that? It is covalent bond. It is sharing of electrons to temporarily achieve an octet rule. An ionic bond happens on a transfer of electron between metal and nonmetal. That's why letter B is wrong. Now for letter C, the alkanes with longer chain lengths are more volatile, they say. But the thing is, that's wrong. The opposite is true of this one. The shorter the alkane, the shorter the chain, the more volatile it is. Let's say you have CH4, a methane, and then you have C2H6, an ethane. So the methane is more volatile than ethane because the methane has a shorter chain length compared to the ethane, which means when we say more volatile, it evaporates more easily. It evaporates easier because they have weaker intermolecular forces. Since there are only one carbon or shorter carbon chain that holds the bond. So the longer chain alkanes have higher boiling point like the ethane compared to the methane. So you can say that the CH4 is more volatile than C2H6 or ethane. Okay, so that's the answer for that. That is wrong. Okay, now for letter D, it says they react with chlorine in substitution reaction. This one is correct, letter D. Why substitution? Because as you know, right, the bonding of the alkane, let's say you have, can I erase this one? Let's say you have a methane, and that is CH4, right? I'll draw the displayed formula like this, CH4. Should I double the size so you can see it properly? And then let's say you have a chlorine, which is chlorine gas on this case. The chlorine, as you know itself, if I may draw the Lewis of the chlorine, it looks like this. It has 7 valence electron, and then since a one cannot exist alone, since it is not a stable one, it needs to be diatomic, so it will have a bond here. So what will happen? This one is more electronegative, meaning to say a lot of electrons. It wants to gain one electron. That's why it will try to bond with this one. It will replace that. Okay, that's why it is substitution. So when that happens, you will have like this. H, 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 and then Cl. Then since one hydrogen here, it will bond with the chlorine. You will have an HCl, right? So the correct answer is letter D, substitution reaction. Okay? Now let us proceed on number 3. Which group of compounds have the same general formula? So you need to be familiarized with the general formula, not familiarized. You should memorize it. Okay? So you have here the following. Uh, the list should have all the same general formula. That is what we mean. So for letter A, that is wrong. Because letter A, you will have CH4, C2H6, a methane, and an ethane follows the alkane general formula of CN, H2N. Right? 2n plus 2 for the alkane. Yes, it follows, like for example, that is the methane CH4 is N equals 1. So that means to say C1H2 times 1 plus 2, that gives you CH4. That is an alkane. The C2H6 also follows the alkane formula of CnH2n plus 2, where N equals 2, representing the number of carbons. So you will have C2H, 2 times 2 here, plus 2. That gives you C2H. 2 times 4 is, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So that is C2H6. So it's alkane. But the thing is with the third one, which is C3H6, it does not follow the alkane formula. It follows the alkene formula of CnH2n, wherein N equals 3, of course. And then you will have C3H2 times 3, that gives you C3H6. That's why letter A is wrong. The first two is alkane, the third one is alkene. So that's why they do not have the same general formula. Now for letter B, this is also incorrect because the first two options, the methane and ethane, CH4 and C2H6, follows the alkane general formula of CnH2n plus 2, but the C4H8 follows the alkene of CnH2n. I'll just have to highlight this. This is correct. Oh, the three compounds there follows the alkene formula. So the CnH2n. Let us solve. So the first one, C4H8, which is a butene, you will have N equals 4 for that. And then that gives you C4H2 times 4. That gives you C4H8, correct? Yeah. And then the second one, the C2H4, which is an ethene, you will have here C2, N equals 2. H2 times 2, that gives you C2H4. That's an ethene. And then the third one, the C3H6, which is a propane, N equals 3. You will have here C3, and then H2 times 3, that gives you C3H6. So yeah, they all follow the alkene formula. Yay! That's why letter C is correct. Now for the letter D, that is incorrect as well because the first two follows the alkane formula, the double bond CnH2n. But the third one follows the alkane formula of CnH2n plus 2. So they do not have the same general formula. Okay, that's why letter C is the correct one. All right, let's talk about number 4. So you have here number 4, the equation represents a polymerization reaction. You have here an equation showing a monomer. This is a monomer of ethene, an alkane, a double bond. And then you also have the polymerized polyethylene here. Let's examine the statement. So statement 1, it says the monomer is ethane. Wrong. That's wrong. Why is it wrong? The monomer shown, as you can see, you know that it is the monomer when it's not in the brackets. Because once you put it in the brackets, the double bond will be broken, and then that's when you know that this is a repeating unit. So on this case, the monomer is ethane. That's wrong because the monomer shown is an ethane, an alkene, while the ethane is CnH2n plus 2, but this one is CnH2n here. Now, the ethane itself cannot undergo polymerization since it has no double bond. So, therefore, it cannot repeat the units. That's why. So, in this case, the ethane here, it has a double bond that allows it to polymerize or to have a repeating unit without losing atoms. That is what we mean. Remember that carbon can hold up to 4 bonds, right? So, if the ethane would want to polymerize, all of its carbon is occupied by the hydrogen. That's why it cannot polymerize. Now, let's proceed on number 2. Again, statement 1 is wrong. Statement 2 is correct or wrong? It is correct. Why is it correct? It says the reaction is addition polymerization. So, remember that the ethene, the polymer formed here, which is also known as polyethylene, is very stable and does not easily decompose. So when that happens, this is addition polymerization. So what happens here? Initially, you have to double bond, right? Let me draw the structure. Your bond looks like this, right? So in polymerization reaction, for that unit to be repeated, this bond here would open up. They share two electrons, correct? So it would open up and then it will form a bracket. I'll just simplify the writings. And then you will have it like that. So the double bonds here will be a new repeating bond. So statement 2 is correct. Statement 3 is correct as well. The polymer does not easily decompose. Remember that polymer, it means plastic. So the polymer formed is very stable and does not easily decompose. This is why plastics made from polyethylene are non-biodegradable, meaning to say it needs so millions of years, thousands of years, and which means it persists in the environment for many, many years, which is a major environmental concern. That's why polymer does not easily decompose. So the correct answer is 2 and 3. That is letter C. Okay. Now let us proceed on number 5. You have here the following. The molecular formula of four compounds are listed here. They are listed. And then you are being asked which molecular formula are also the empirical formula for the compound. So take note the difference between molecular and empirical formula. When we say molecular formula, it shows the actual number of atoms of each element in a molecule, while the empirical formula, it shows the simplest whole number ratio of atoms in a compound. So, mean to say the empirical is the simplest form, but the thing is, some compounds have the same molecular and empirical formula, because if the molecular formula itself cannot be simplified any further, which meaning the subscript have no common factors other than 1, then the molecular formula is also the empirical formula. Let us examine. So for number 1, you have CH4. The ratio of carbon to hydrogen is 1 is to 4. Do they have common factor other than 1? None, they do not have. So the molecular formula of methane, which is CH4, is also the empirical formula. How about number 2? C2H6, an ethane. So does it have an empirical more formula? Can you simplify the ratio of the carbon to the hydrogen? The ratio is 2 is to 6. Can you simplify that? Yes, they are divisible both by 2. So divided by 2, 2 divided by 2, that gives you 1 carbon. 6 divided by 2, that gives you 3 hydrogen. Right. Now for number 3, is it divisible? Can you simplify the number 3? The ratio is 3 is to 8 for carbon and hydrogen. Do they have other common factor other than 1? None. So, therefore, the number 3 is the molecular formula. C3H8 is also the empirical formula. Now, how about C3H6? The ratio is 3 is to 6 for carbon to hydrogen. So, is it divisible by itself? By 3, yeah? So, divided by 3, 3 divided by 3, that gives you 1 carbon in empirical formula. 6 divided by 3, that gives you 2 hydrogen in the empirical formula. So, they have an empirical formula other than the molecular formula. So, which answer is correct? The answer is 1 and 3. So, that is letter B, 1 and 3. The molecular formula of 1 and 3 is the same with their empirical formula. Got it? Okay. Which structure represents a compound in the alcohol homologous series? When we say homologous, they have the same general formula. And alcohol, it means you have an OH group attached to the alkyl group, CnH2n plus 1 OH, right? So letter A, they are all alkanes. They are all single bonds without presence of OH. No OH inside. Wrong. Letter B, you have an OH, all single bond. So this is your answer. Letter C, you have a double bond. Alkene. Wrong. That is not an alcohol. Letter D, you have a double bond on OH carboxylic group. So that is wrong. The correct answer is letter B. Number 7, you have ethane reacts with chlorine. Which row identifies the type of reaction and the formulae of the products formed? Is it addition or substitution? It is not addition. Okay. Why is it not addition? When you say addition, only one compound is formed. But that is not the case for the reaction of ethane and chlorine. Let me draw the structure first. So you have here the following structure. I hope the pen is working. Okay, you have here the following structure. C, and then you know that the carbon has 4 available electrons in the outermost shell. That is where the bonding happens. And ethane means you have two carbons, so you will have here that. And then you will have to react this one, bond, bond, hydrogen has one. So you will have it like that, hydrogen, and then hydrogen. And then it reacts with chlorine. So is it one chlorine or two chlorine? It is two chlorine, remember that always. Why is it two chlorine? Because it is not a noble gas, so it has to bond in a covalent form to temporarily achieve an octet rule. So you will have here, let me draw the Lewis of this one. Lewis of the chlorine. Wait. So the chlorine has seven outermost electrons. Wait, chlorine. That is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. And then it is Cl2. So you will have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven bond here. Now it reacts with the ethane. But the thing is, the chlorine has seven outermost electron while the hydrogen has only one. So the chlorine is more electronegative compared to the hydrogen. So when that happens, what will happen? Of course, it will pull out the hydrogen because the chlorine wants to bond. It needs to complete. It has seven. It needs one more. So it will attract the hydrogen here and bond here. So you will have an HCl on that note. And then the other chlorine will replace the hydrogen here. That's why it is substitution. So you will have here instead a carbon. Wait, the pen. So you will have here carbon. Let me draw the hydrogen, and then hydrogen, and then hydrogen, and then hydrogen. What? That's hydrogen, okay, at the top. And then you will have here the chlorine, and then of course the HCl. Now, what's the structural formula? This is displayed. So this is CH3. You have in first carbon you have three hydrogen attached to that, right? On the second carbon, you have two hydrogens attached to that. That is CH2 and then the chlorine. That's why the answer here, of course, you already know that is letter C. And then the HCl here. All right? Let's talk about number 8. So you have here which equation represents the formation of polypropene from propene. So again, formation of polypropene from propene. So you all know that the propene is a double bond, right? So a polypropene means to say you have three carbons in that answer, correct? So the monomer therefore must have three carbons and one double bond. You have three carbons here. You have one. Oh, wait, can I write that? You have one, two, no, two, three, and then double bond. All of that applies to A, B, C, and D, right? But the polymer, uh, in addition, polymerization, the double bond opens up to form single bonds that link the monomers together. So, therefore, you can omit this one because the double bond does not open up, so that's wrong. And then you have options A, B, and D. But the thing is, when we talk about the polymer, the repeating unit in brackets must show those single bonds extending out to the next unit. And it must contain the exact same number of atoms as the monomer. So no atom should be lost. But if you will look on letter B, an atom of hydrogen has been lost in the process here. That's why it is wrong. See, it should be CH3, right? But you now have just CH2 here, that's why it's wrong. And then for letter D, what happens here is the another atoms has been lost as well. It should be CH3, but on this case, there's addition of the carbon, yes, but a hydrogen has been lost. While on letter A, it maintains that. That's why letter A is the correct answer. All right, let's go on number 9. So for number 9, you have which statement about addition polymerization or condensation polymers is correct. So let us examine. Addition polymers only contain carbon and hydrogen atoms. That is wrong because sometimes you can have chlorine as well. You can have other functional groups. That's wrong. Now, letter B, it says one of the monomers used to make a polyester is a diamine. That is wrong. It should be substituted hydrocarbon. And then letter C, addition polymers contain carbon-carbon double bonds in the main chain. Carbon-carbon double bonds in the main chain. That's correct, but it can also have triple bonds. So that's wrong. Now for letter D, water is an additional product in the formation of a protein from uh, amino acid. That's correct. That's a given rule. Now let's talk about number 10. It says, which of the following is the simplest hydrocarbon? So for the simplest hydrocarbon, which has one carbon among the options A, B, and D? So letter A, it has two carbons. Letter B, it has three carbons. Letter C, it has one carbon. Letter D, it has four. So which has the simplest or least number of carbon? So the correct answer is, of course, letter C, the methane. Let us proceed on test 2. So on test 2, you have here the following. Molecules of compound C are products by some plants. The figure 1 shows the displayed formula of a molecule of compound C. So as you can see, this is a displayed formula. So you just have to really count the number of hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen to write down the chemical formula. So you will have the C, how many carbons are there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10. And then, so for hydrogen, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You have 16. So that is 16. Let's just count the number of oxygen that we have. So you have 1. What else? 2. So that's 2. So the molecular formula is C10H16O2. Yeah, that's it. And then how about the test B? On figure 1, draw a circle around the part of the molecule which shows that the molecule is unsaturated. When we say unsaturated, at least one of the carbons has a double or triple bond. So in this case, you just have to circle this one. This is a double bond. That's the answer. Okay? Okay, next let us proceed on table 2. Test number 2. You have here the following. Table 1 shows some properties of compounds found in the naphtha fraction, which is the separation of the fuel, by the way. Now, what is the molecular formula? Deduce the molecular formula of the heptane. Heptane is an alkane. It follows the general formula of CnH2n plus 2. So, if heptane from the prefix it is 7, so N equals 7. So you will have C7 H2 times 7 plus 2. So you will have C7 H14. 7 times 14 plus 2, 16. So the answer is C7H16 for this letter A. And then how about for letter B? Use the information in table 1 to predict the melting point of octanes. So if you will look here, from heptane to ondecane, the number of carbon increases. And if you will look on the trend of the melting point, the melting point becomes less negative. It increases as the number of carbon increases as well. So how do you predict this one? To predict this one, you have to look at the table. There is a clear trend as the number of carbon atoms increases and the molecule gets larger, the melting point increases, it becomes less negative. So you have, if you will look here, the heptane is negative 90, and then the nonane is negative 54, right? So since octane is between heptane and nonane, its melting point must fall between negative 90 and negative 54. So if you will look here, the melting point increases by 36 degrees Celsius over 2 carbon steps from C7 to C9 or heptane to nonane. So if you assume a steady increase, that's an increase of 18 degrees per carbon atom. So you can just say negative 90 degrees plus 18 degrees because it is just the trend, and that will give you negative 72 degrees. But if your answer again is between negative 60 to negative 80, then that's correct. So let us proceed on the third one. The third one says, when heated strongly in the presence of a catalyst, decane reacts to form smaller molecules. Ethene is one of the molecules formed when decane is heated strongly in the presence of a catalyst. So you have to draw a displayed formula of ethene. You just have to draw that. N equals 2. That is a double bond. So that will give you CnH2n, and that is C2H2 times 2. That gives you C2H4. And that means you have a double bond here. and then you have two hydrogens, and then two hydrogens here. That's it. This is the structural formula. But if you want to draw the displayed, of course, the displayed formula should look like this: a double bond, and then a lines like this, a band like this, because this one will repel strongly and will have a diagonal formation in the banding. That's why it looks like this. Your answer should look like this. Okay? So in addition reaction, the ethene reacts with the chlorine gas to form the uh, dichloroethene here. Show the complete reaction in terms of the displayed formulae. So you have to draw the displayed formulae. The ethene looks like this, right? So you just have to draw it like this. A double bond and then hydrogen. You just have to display everything. And then the next one, you should have plus chlorine gas. So that means you have to display the Lewis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's in group 17. That means the outer shell is 7 electrons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bond. So what will happen is the formation of 1,2-dichloroethane in the process. That means to say, what will happen? This one bond here will displace the other one. Huh. So you will have here C, and then the double bond will be broken down. This one will be broken down. And then you will have here the following: H, H, and then you can write the chlorine here, and then you can have the chlorine here, H. It's okay if you have isomers. That's okay as well. So this is the correct one. If you have the chlorine at top or bottom, that's okay. Okay. Okay, how about number 5? Name the following hydrocarbons. So the name of this one is 2,5-dimethyl octane. This is 2,5 dimethyl octane. The complete key answer and rationale is in Edenab as well. If that will help you. So how do you identify the family name octane? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 carbons, the longest continuous carbon chain. So that gives you an octane. Why is it 2, 5? You cannot start here like, you want to start here 1, 2, 3. No, you cannot do that because it will give 4. 5, 6, 7. That will give 4, 7. So you should put the lowest number to the functional group attached to the longest continuous carbon chain. So you will have here, you could start here on the right, going to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that gives you 2 and then 5, 2, 5. And since you only have one line, then that is methyl. And then you have two of that here. That's why it is dimethyl octane. That's the answer. All right. All right. That's it for our discussion. Good luck on your final exam.